It is another week, and it is Saturday night, and I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about what is going on in politics on a national level and a local level. On a local level, I'm Donovan Sadiq. I am the IE Informer, the Inland Empire Informer, is what we're called out here in the city of Moreno Valley, and we have a lot of stuff going on. I will be starting a series on a local level talking about where are they now and what have they been doing about these candidates that seem to pop up every election cycle, and they run and then they lose and then they disappear, then they show up and then they want your vote. And a lot of them want your vote because you're the same color as them, or you're the same ethnicity as them, or however you want to say it, and that's the title of our show tonight. It's called Tangibles. And this is a problem a lot of the candidates for the Democratic Party is having. They prop these black people out there talking about, oh, this is Obama 2.0. Oh, this is Hillary 2.0. And then they wonder why, it's almost insulting to us as black people that they do this, because we're awake now. And they attack the black media. And the black media, which doesn't make sense when black people own less than 3% of the media market as a whole. There's only six families that actually control the media in the United States. So, and one of those families ain't black. You better believe that. So what we have to do is communicate among ourselves on YouTube and using social media, and a lot of us have been doing that. And what the Democratic Party has found, that the same old Uncle Rufus, Uncle Remus tricks don't seem to be working. Because back in the day, they can trot out a black candidate and they'd be like, to vote for them because they're black. And a lot of our parents have that mentality. If you were a child of a baby boomer, they have that mentality. And back in the day, that's what you did, because there wasn't really a lot of black people to vote for. So you just vote for them and you vote your interests. I thought that was, I'm of a different era. I believe you should vote your interests. That's just me. But that's what they did back then. But now people are awake, because we had 8 years of Obama and we didn't get anything. We didn't get any tangibles. And the problem now is you have these white liberals, so-called liberals, that are out there. And because you're espousing your intelligence in saying, wait a minute, this is a business transaction. My vote is for sale. That's what you're saying. That's what politics is about. That's what voting is about, not politics. That's what voting is about. Your vote is for sale. Now, do you go to a store and just give them your money and walk out without a item that you paid for? Of course you don't. It's the same thing in voting. But see, the Democratic Party has taken us for granted and just figured, oh, we'll trot this person out and we will get the black vote. Now, that used to work. And we thought a lot of stuff was going to go down when Obama got in office, and we found out that that was not the case. He didn't prosecute anybody on Wall Street. How many of the black community lost their homes during the Wall Street crunch, lost their jobs? And what did Obama do for us? He stacked his cabinet full of Wall Street executives. Nobody was prosecuted. But, how dare we not get behind a Kamala Harris or a Cory Booker? How dare we not do that? I have some friends, and God bless them. If you want to, vote for whoever you want to vote for, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I'm just here to give you some information that you might want to just check into. And if you still vote for that person, that's on you. Look how many of the Trump people, now that the taxes are coming out, have realized that their taxes have gone up. Oops. We told you. We told you about that. So, but I had a couple of friends of mine say, I know Kamala's record. I'm still voting for her. Okay. But if you knew her record, if you really knew it, I don't think you would be voting for her, because Kamala Harris is not for black people. Now, on Power 107 in New York, or whatever that radio station is that has Charlemagne the God, and it's a really well-known and respected radio station in New York City. Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, he was on there, and they asked him point blank, what's in it for black people? I never saw a Negro go around a question so long and never answered it. And Cory Booker did that. What they don't understand, what the Democratic Party doesn't understand, and what the baby boomers in the black community don't understand is we're not having it anymore. We want hashtag tangibles. You want my vote? Tell me what you're going to do for me. You've got illegal aliens in the United States, especially in my home state of California. When they ask for something, these politicians specifically do that action. I have never seen a country where an illegal person could come into the country illegally and get a driver's license. Oh yeah, that's going on right here in California. You better believe that. They made sure that their agenda was taken care of. So now this kids in cages at the border and stuff, and and God bless them. My heart and sympathy is with them, because human beings should not be treated that way, much less animals. But there is a Hispanic caucus in Congress that can address that. But when you talk to Cory Booker or Kamala Harris, they address it too. And if they want to address it, that's fine. Okay, you've addressed the Hispanic issue. The LGBTQ plus community, they have an agenda for that one too. If Cory Booker and Kamala Harris want to address that, you're more than welcome. But when we ask you to address specifically black issues, we're grouped up with everybody else. Oh, it's got to be an American issue. Got to be an American issue. Wait a minute now. You just got these other groups, but you didn't get us. And I know a lot of my white friends out there are saying, well, they didn't address us either. Well, damn, you own the whole goddamn country. I mean, your issues, to me, solved. You know what I mean? I mean, what issue do you have other than being extremely rich? And I'm kind of joking, with that, because I know not all white people are rich. But however, white privilege is real. People don't want to believe it, but it's real. And we don't have to go through all that. But why is it that every time black people ask for tangibles and you ask these black candidates for it, they can't tell you anything? And that's what the Democratic Party did not realize, because we have this new media and we're communicating with each other. And it's just funny to me. I live in California, so I know Kamala Harris's record. I'm a political junkie. I know Cory Booker's record. I mean, he's quick to talk about he was the mayor of Newark and he did all these great things down there. And I'm not taking that away from him. However, how is Newark doing right now? It's still a shithole. I've been to Newark. Still a shithole. He didn't really accomplish much dealing with the issues and the problem of crime and poverty. As a matter of fact, Newark got gentrified. How come he never mentions that? Maxine Waters, right here in California. One of her platforms when she initially ran and got elected was reparations. She's been in Congress for almost 30 years. How's those reparations coming, Maxine? 30 years. Tangibles. Cory Booker supporter would tell me, well, he's working on the anti-lynching bill. On the Demetra K show, we addressed that a couple of weeks ago. Isn't anti-lynching murder one? So what do you need an anti-lynching bill for? And they've been trying to pass an anti-lynching bill through the Congress for over 170 years. So I don't understand the smoking mirrors. Look what I've accomplished. Kamala Harris is quick to talk about she was, the only person to really work on, prison reform and, justice reform. Right? Look at her record. Not true. Not true at all. In every situation she sided with law enforcement. She was against body cams. She kept people in jail that were proven innocent. She didn't want to lose non-offenders, even after the Supreme Court of California said that it is unconstitutional to hold these people in such conditions due to the overcrowding. They need to be released. She wanted to keep them in servitude because of the labor pool. And you're sitting there telling me she's a progressive, but yet she can't show you her record of progressivity. Is that a word? You guys better wake up. Tangibles. Tell me some tangibles. Show me some accomplishments. Don't have any, and a lot of people, especially a lot of feminists, jump on me about Kamala Harris being married to a white man. Okay? Hey, you can love whoever you want to love, but I think that who you're married to also dictates and says a lot about you in regards. If Obama was married to a white woman, how many of you black women out there would have voted for him? Because every time I hear it, oh, he need to get a sister. He need to do this. He needs to get a strong black woman. He's intimidated by strong black women. Blah, 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 blah. That's what you hear from him. A brother in the NBA dating white women. Oh, yeah. They just don't want no strong black woman. Blah, blah, right? They're the first to talk about it. But now here's a black woman married to a white man. Not a single comment. Not one. I mean, I'm talking about it. The black media. But see, they don't want to expose that stuff. And then when you ask those questions, hey, her husband is not the issue. And you're right. It has nothing to do with it. But I look at things like that. And me and maybe some other people. If she was married to Hitler, would it be an issue? If she was married to Saddam Hussein, would you consider that an issue for you? If she was married to a lesbian, to some people, that would be an issue. This is a business transaction. My vote it's for sale. Your vote should be for sale. You just don't give it away. And that's what we're trying to tell you. Vote for whoever you want to do, but make sure you have all the information. The days of voting for somebody just because they have the same skin color is over. Generation X, which is the generation that I'm in, we're not having it. The millennials definitely aren't having it because they don't trust nobody. The baby boomers are the most selfish generation ever. They will not release power. By my cold, dead hands is how you're going to have to get rid of them. They are going to die on their jobs before they give it up. And that's one of the problems we're having. And what the baby boomers don't understand is because they will not move on or retire and go enjoy the rest of their lives, like every generation before them that gave them a chance to make something of themselves and raise their families and make a good living, because they're not doing that, they are appalled and shocked at how far left or right the Democratic or Republican Party has gone. Now, if I'm a Generation Xer, my kids are millennials. They don't know anything about socialism. Never had to experience it. I benefited from my parents being baby boomers and had a lot more opportunities than they had, and so on and so on and so forth. My children don't know what it is to open the refrigerator and there's nothing in it. I barely know what that's like. I mean, there was something in it. It just wasn't something that I probably wouldn't want to eat. I mean, it wasn't like my refrigerator was stocked. We went through some times. We were on food stamps and we had to work to get, my mom worked her ass off to be where she is at. And I thank God for her to being as strong and kicking ass as a woman as she did. Joined the Coast Guard, then joined the Army, became a federal employee. I mean, my mom did it all. I mean, she was one of those typical super type women that you don't see anymore. Raising 2 kids, and she kicked ass. So all praise to my mom. I'm telling you, my mom's one of those type. She used to kick me in my brother's ass. Then she would ask the question, "What happened?" That she was that kind of mom. And then when she found out, she go, "Oops." Sorry. Well, that's for something you're going to do in the future. She put it down for, I whooped your ass for something you're going to do in the future that I know you're going to do in the future. That's kind of mom I had, And to me, that was normal, Nowadays, they lock my mom up. But, that was then, this is now. So if you guys are laughing at that. But now that people are looking at these candidates and asking questions, the Democratic Party and the national media has the nerve to attack the black media and calling us bots. Like, oh yeah, there's something out of the ordinary. It must be the Russians. Can't a black person have an educated opinion and say this person might not be for me? It's amazing how they put these people out in front of us, the Roland Martins, the Joy Reids, and all these people, like they're the experts. I mean, look at how Roland Martin on video, and you guys have seen the video, of how he's out there cursing at us and, telling us we don't know what the fuck we talking about and blah, blah, we new to this and all this other bullshit, right? You never see him talk that way to the white media. You never see him do that. He up there cooning with Hillary Clinton. Mrs. I got hot sauce in my purse. Come on, you guys. I put videos up. Every candidate dances. We understand that, but that's not enough to get my vote. We're not falling for it anymore. Wake up. I'm just offended because I can't have an educated opinion about a person by her public record does not have a record of a progressive. Now, I'm an independent progressive. I left the Democratic Party a long time ago. And I'm voting my interests. And sometimes my interest falls into very conservative. The older I get, the more conservative I get. I think that's human nature. You're going to get more conservative. When I see young people with blue and purple hair, that's something I remember in the punk days, that was, when I was young, that was cool. But I look at it now like, nah, that's not for me. Now, I really lose it when I see somebody my age with blue, purple, and green hair. That's like, golly, are you serious? So, it's just appalling. But I put the videos up, and if you guys tune in on Sundays at 3 p.m. Facebook Live, I produce a show called The Demetra K Show, and the sister is talking some real shit. I mean, we're getting people all the way in China listening to that message. This girl averages, just on Facebook Live, 11,000 people watching her. And the good thing about Facebook Live, she can get the comments and kind of, just go through it and scroll through it with it, with her and stuff. And you can kind of like curse her out if you want to curse her out, whatever. But she's on Spotify. She's on iHeartRadio. Of course, Facebook, Twitter. It's all there. YouTube. You can see everything. If you missed the show, you can see the video. We have a podcast and a video show. Check her out. She's going to be talking about, I forgot what she told me today. I was on the phone with her, but she always talks real. But I'm talking about tangibles. I want tangibles. Tangibles is something you can see and touch. You can actually visualize it with your mind. That's a tangible. Not something, so far gone. I want to touch it. I want to experience it. Tangible. Give me something tangible. Don't tell me you're not in the tangibles when you're addressing the Hispanic community. You have an agenda for them. The LGBTQ community, you have an agenda for them. The Asian community, you have an agenda for them. Why is it that when it always comes to the black community, these politicians don't have an agenda, much less a black politician, and that they have the nerve to attack us? The DOS movement is real. People say, what's that? Descendants of slaves. There's several kinds of black people, but there's only one type of black person that directly comes down from slavery. And a lot of us can trace our family. I mean, if you think about it, it isn't that long ago that we were in slavery. 1863 or 4, Lincoln freed the slaves. So 1964 is 100 years. Add another 40 years to that, to where we're at right now, about approximately. So you look at that, no, less than 150 years. from slavery. So you take 150 years, how many generations is that? That's not that many generations. It's less than 15. No, it's way less than that. It's less than 10 generations. So it's not that far ago. So those specific people need to be addressed. Their situation needs to be addressed. Reparations. Maxine Waters has been working on that for 30 years. And in her 30 years, she has managed to become a multimillionaire. Please explain that to me, why her district right now is going through gentrification and it is one of the worst districts in Congress. But everybody goes for the soundbite. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time. I get tired of seeing these old black women up in Congress with their twisted wigs. Does anybody ever tell them their wig is not on straight? Does anybody ever tell them that? And their skin falling off their face and stuff? You know, I just get tired of that. They're looking like clowns, wearing the stupid hats. And then they want people to take us seriously. I mean, Corrine Brown, she's in jail right now. Corruption. These people don't care about us. Tangibles, we want to hold you accountable. What's wrong with that? This is a business transaction. I'm the John, you the hoe, politician. You the hoe. And political prostitution is legal. Let's keep it real. I want something for my vote. Everybody else does it. Why shouldn't black people demand something? And I don't want to be grouped with any other group. Don't group me with no other group. I want tangibles addressing my issue. Oh, well, Donovan, it's going to be hard to go back and, hey, tell me something. Tell me something. You can address that issue. You can address this issue. Why can't you address our issue? Kamala Harris, Attorney General of California, I don't see anywhere where she reformed the prison system or she reformed the California state police training curriculum to not be afraid of the neighborhood you patrol and stop shooting down black people in the street. She's a sitting senator right now. Where's that bill? Her and Cory Booker. Black people are being shot down in the street all over the United States. Why aren't those two black senators and the Congressional Black Caucus working on legislation for the signature of Donald Trump to address that issue and to deal with it? Trump is under so much damn pressure. You give him the deal, don't impeach me, I'll sign it. I'm sure we can get it through Congress. I'm sure we could. But I almost bet you those so-called Democratic liberals aren't going to be for it. Well, you niggas, if we don't be shooting you down, we got to shoot some other group. And that's another thing. This Donald Trump thing, okay, politically. If I hear one more person say anything is better than Trump, I'm going to choke somebody out. Because if that is what you're going with to get votes, it's going to be Trump. Right now, the Democratic Party, what they've put out, it ain't going to cut it. People say, well, how can you say that? That means you're for Trump. No, I'm not for Trump. I'm not going to throw my vote away either. Think about this, people. Listen up. Trump won the presidency without the black vote. A significant number of white women voted for Trump. Period. He won the election without the black vote. Over 80% of black voters voted for Clinton. She lost. Kamala Harris for the people. Do you guys realize Kamala Harris met with backers that backed Hillary Clinton and has staffed her team with Hillary Clinton staffers. I'd be surprised if she even had a black person in there. That would surprise the hell out of me. Kamala Harris is a conservative hiding as a Democrat, just like Dianne Feinstein. Look at Dianne Feinstein's record. Dianne Feinstein predominantly has never turned down a congressional pay raise or anything that would benefit her position. She didn't authorize, but you didn't see her say something about the $3 billion tax dollars of the bullet train, high-speed rail train, that contract that was given to her husband. Nobody talks about that. Wouldn't that be a conflict of interest, or you think she would say something about it? She didn't say anything about it. The old bitch has been in there since I don't know when. She's almost 90 years old and she's still in there. She doesn't give a damn what's going on until the election comes up. And these damn stupid liberals up in Northern California keep voting her ass in. And then they get upset when AOC, Alexandra, the young girl, 29-year-old chick from New York, is upsetting the apple cart because she was sitting there to take care of business. Yes, she's far left. We agree with that. She is far left. But what did you expect from a 29-year-old? What do you expect for a 29-year-old? My oldest is 26. What the hell did you expect? You guys better wake up. You can't hold on to power forever. And that's the problem. The baby boomers are still in power. Generation X, my generation, has been skipped over. And now you're dealing with the very monsters of the grandchildren that you created and you spoiled. Wake the fuck up. They're not going to be moderate. Grandma and grandpa gives them whatever mommy and daddy doesn't give them. So they don't know what it is not to have. Everything to them was free. All they had to do was ask for it. Why do you think what's going on is going on? Come on, people, you guys better wake up. It's a new day in America. Black candidates, tangibles. You can attack us all you want, but you're not getting our vote. And that's what they did not calculate on. The Democratic Party is right now scrambling, trying to figure out how they need that black vote, at least to get out of the primary, the Democratic primary. But they're not going to get it. Kamala Harris will not make it out of the Democratic primary. Cory Booker will not make it out of the Democratic primary. 8 years of Obama and all the shit that man went through, you think a woman of color is going to make it? And that's another thing. Do your homework on this woman. This woman is of Indian descent. Yes, she's a woman of color. But she wasn't raised in this country. Her mom went to Canada. Kamala Harris didn't come back to this country until she was 18. Then she went to Howard University. And while at Howard, and I happen to know this, there are some very upscale, good men at Howard. But she didn't want those guys. She'd rather go ahead and start her political career with a 30-year-old, 60-year-old man while she was 30. And people wonder why I bring up her husband being white. Kamala Harris does not have the same black experience that we have. Talk to your local Nigerian or your local Kenyan. And what's the first thing that comes out of their mouth? How educated they are. And, why us Negroes ain't doing this and why us Negroes ain't doing that. Education is free here in this country. Why aren't you taking advantage of that? They come over here and they get to it and then want to talk down to us. I got a lot of Nigerian friends. I used to date a girl that was Nigerian. And no shade to them. But, the first thing that her people asked me was, how many degrees do you have? I was like, 11. That got me over. And that's not a lie. I have 11 degrees. I have 11 degrees. 10 of them are associate, but it is what it is. My bachelor's is in aeronautics, and I minored in physics, which is really, really good. I really learned a lot about physics, and I really like it, how things work. But, whenever my friends get, they get on their soapbox, my Nigerian and Kenyan friends get on their soapbox, and they talk about, how great they are, and I'm perceived that they're talking down to me. I say, well, if your goddamn country's so great, what the fuck are you doing here? That's what I want to know. Why would you leave a country that is so great according to you? But they come here and, and I'm not mad at them. They take advantage of everything they need to take advantage of because they come asking for tangibles. Their voting bloc. They vote their interests. The Vietnamese came here with nothing. But guess what? Don't get it twisted. Vietnamese, Middle Easterners, Afrikaners, Africans, wherever you come from. Where do you go to set up your economic base? The black neighborhood. Only in the black neighborhood can you come and set up your economic base and make money to fund your community. You don't think we know that? We know that. We're not stupid. You come to our community because you can't go to Beverly Hills, the white man will burn you down. We are the only community where you could come in there and choke us out and treat us terrible and beat us up, and we will still patronize your store. We're the only community you can do that. Try that in another community and see what happens to you. Black people are waking up now. We've had enough. We're tired. And the black media are the ones putting this information out. And the establishment media doesn't like it. Because we're not falling for the banana in the fucking tailpipe anymore. You're not going to tell us who our leaders are. You're not going to tell us what we need to vote for. That one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Well, you got to vote for the lesser of two evils. Even if you did that, you still are voting for evil. If you're a person of conviction and integrity, the best thing to do is not to vote. I didn't vote for Hillary in the last election. I didn't vote for Trump either. I voted for John. I said, hey, this person more ideally does my interests. I don't like people that pander to me. A 53-year-old woman dancing to Cardi B? Are you serious? When have you ever seen Kamala Harris showing her edges in public? That has never happened. Give me a break. Or wearing her Howard University gear. Give me a fucking break. California Greek is not big out here. It's not. All of a sudden she's running for president and she's Howard and she's going to try to get her sororos to put that message out and all that other bullshit. Trump's going to beat her head in even if she made it out, which she's not. Cory Booker, I got my PhD off the streets, PhD off the streets, I was out there in the streets. Okay. All right. PhD. This man went to, is practically a Rhodes Scholar if he isn't a Rhodes Scholar. He's talking about PhD from the streets. This is the man that voted down getting lower costing drugs from Canada because he said, I want to make sure the drugs are safe. When was the last time you went to Canada and saw a bunch of Canadians sprawled out in the street because the prescription drugs were bad? But what he didn't tell you is he's getting his money from the pharmaceutical companies. He's not telling you that. Y'all better wake up, goddammit. I mean, it's a new day. And big ups to the shows out there that are putting the news out and are seeing what is really going on. I've been watching a lot of channels. A lot of these sisters they ain't falling for it either. Oh, we got sisters, we got to stick together. Sister Circle, we got to vote for her no matter what. No, they're waking up. They're like, no. This woman, I was hard on crime. That's a code word for I'm going to beat your black ass and lock your ass up. Everybody knows that by now. You women out there that have sons, you should not be voting for this woman. She doesn't give a damn. But I'm not supposed to say nothing. You didn't hear that from me, but the word on the street. I'm just telling you guys. Keep it real. I'm just trying to tell you guys, what's really going down. But hey, I'm gonna give you guys I'm gonna give you guys the game real quick, okay? Because I know you guys are, especially a lot of you guys listening out there. Valentine's Day is coming up, and you guys are like, oh my God, I got to get this thing. I'm telling you, brothers, listen up. If you show up on Valentine's Day to your lady or husband, or whatever your situation is, without a gift in hand, especially since you know that tax refund is coming, if you haven't gotten it already, hey, there's going to be no excuses. Check out on Facebook, Shantae, Stella, and Dot Style Divas. I'm telling you, good stuff up there. Black-owned business. People say, well, don't, you talking all this mess. Hey, I don't just talk it, I walk it. Okay? If I had a significant other right now, because I can't afford a significant other, I would be shopping over here. And then my dog Belle, I love my dog Belle, but I don't think she needs that kind of expensive gifts. But I'm telling you, go check out this shop over there. Some good items. I'm telling you, you guys were going to be satisfied. Ask Shantae questions if you have any questions, and I'm very sure she'll address it. You guys check the sister out. We're talking about supporting our own. We don't just talk it here on this show. We walk it. And on Demetra K show as well. Wherever I go, that's where I put out. And it's a new day. I want us to be the community that isn't just consumers. If we haven't learned anything from this damn government shutdown, is we can't be dependent on the government or any man to feed us. If you didn't learn anything, get out there and get a job and feed your damn self, or make your own job. We can start doing business among ourselves. And no, I'm not talking as an angry black man. I'm talking as a common sense man. The Asians are doing it. The Hispanics are doing it. Do you know how many damn Mexican restaurants are in my town? We're saturated with them. And when I go to city council and tell them, hey, you guys got to stop approving these goddamn Mexican restaurants. And the reason I'm saying that is not because I don't like Mexican food. I like Mexican food. It's not fair that a person takes all of their finances, their money, and their dreams, and the city approves their business plan just because it's new revenue and they're getting all the permits and all that other crap from it. And then their dreams are dashed because the city didn't tell them the city's oversaturated with Mexican restaurants. And these people lose everything. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Nothing against people who want to do that. But why set them up for failure? And that's what's happening in my city. Yes, the city is predominantly Hispanic. Over 90 Mexican restaurants. That doesn't make any sense. Have been approved in the last 3 or 4 years. How many of their initial approvals are still here? Check out my local show and I'll tell you about it. This is the stuff we got to start thinking about, people. We got to start thinking about it. A real quick story, real quick for you guys. It got really cold here in Southern California. Anything below 70 degrees is cold, but it was cold and it was raining. Now, I have 2 cats and a dog. My one cat, Misty, she's been with me for 12 years. That means she's about 84 years old. I got a new cat named Tylen because my other cat got poisoned by the neighbor, I believe. I can't prove that, but that's what I believe. And my dog Belle's been with me for 6 years. Got all these animals from the animal shelter. If you're looking for a good animal, please start at the animal shelter first. There's a lot of great animals that you can adopt from your local animal shelter. Please go there first. A lot of animal shelters also have a military discount. So if you have a family member or a person that might be in the military, you might get a good deal for little or nothing. But anyway, I go outside my house one day and it's raining and it's cold and I hear this cat voice. I'm thinking it's my cat, but it isn't. And this black cat just comes up to me and I notice that his leg was injured. And so, you know, it's a feral cat because it had a clip in its ear. So I knew it was feral. So I said, wow, you know, and the cat's just meowing, meowing, meowing. And you can tell he's shivering. He's kind of cold. So I get him. I go get a box and I set everything up and I put him in there. I you know, clean his leg and fix his leg up and stuff. And, you know, the cat's grateful. I feed him and stuff. And he just so grateful. Got him a little litter box in there and stuff. Because my cats, they usually poo outside because I have a pet door. They go in and out on their own. And I live in a cul-de-sac, so a lot of people know that those are my animals. And sure enough, I named him T'Challa. For those of you guys that are comic book fans and watched the movie, T'Challa is the Black Panther. This is a completely black cat. Very good cat. I estimate him to be about 2 years old, about the same age as the cat that I have now. Tylen, who's a Thai cat, kind of like similar to Siamese. And they get along fine and stuff, so it's no big deal. So it was really cold, so I put, it was too cold to keep him outside, so I put him in the garage, and he's been there ever since. So, you guys, please have a heart, because, yeah, I know animals have fur, but that doesn't mean that they don't get cold. Even on their paws can get damaged from frostbite. So, I'm not telling you to take the animal in, but if you could just, open your garage. And the bad thing about, cats and animals, once they find a food source, they kind of stick around. And he's been sticking around, and I don't mind him sticking around as long as he doesn't come in the house. But if you see a stray animal out there, please help it out. Even if you have to call animal control to come get him and take him. But be careful, because some animal control, they might put him down or, whatever. But I was kind of glad that I got the cat. He is really thankful. Every time I go in the garage, he's always rubbing against me, and he's putting his scent on me to kind of say that, I'm his. But he's a very good cat. I'm glad I did it. And, because I love animals, believe it or not. I know you guys say, oh, this Negro is angry. No, I'm not angry. I really love animals more so than I do human beings, because these animals are voiceless. And I believe that the human population is an epidemic. When we are developing areas where animals can't go anymore, it's ridiculous. If a mountain lion comes down and unfortunately attacks a child, I think that's tragic. But at the same time, I think it's tragic for the mountain lion, because that's immediate death for him, even though we've encroached on his territory. We gotta, find a happy medium here, so that's my stance on that, and I'm gonna stick to it. But you guys, check the Donovan Sadiq Show out on iHeartRadio or Spotify and on YouTube and stuff like that. I'll be with Demetra K tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys want to hear some good stuff, check us out on Facebook Live. She also has a YouTube channel. We do the video. And when you're watching the video, please be cognizant of the fact that what you're watching is actually our podcast. It just has more emphasis because we have video behind us and all that other good stuff that helps emphasize what we're saying. I also do on Tuesdays the Pastor Don Weekly Devotional. Please check him out. He is also a published author. Go to his webpage, donmeinbergauthor.com. He's selling a bunch of books for youth. Please check it out. Hey, you guys, I'm Donovan Sadiq, and I'm telling you, we need tangibles, and that's what we're asking these politicians to start giving us. We don't want no more lip service. So please check me out again. Look for the video. I just opened up an Annex studio, and so far I love it. So we'll see you guys again next week, if not tomorrow. Check out the Donovan Sadiq Show.